You've tuned into Hashtag Jolling with Sean McBRIDE. 2 to 4 every Thursday.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
All right. How you doing, Radio Land? You're with Sean McBRIDE here on Hashtag Jolling in Burg studio. And broadcasting straight live from Midrand City. The center of the universe. It's our last show of the year, and it's going to be, so what I'm going to do today is just go over, I'll play some songs I like, but go over some bands of interviews I've enjoyed. And what the highlighting today is one of my favorites, the THR3 Project. My good friend Mark Hopkins' band and the boys there. Absolutely cracker interview, actually. Just a very interesting band, bunch of guys, man. Just coming from a really arty, proggy sort of venue, which is a very brave thing to do in our laptop and Stratocaster sort of entertainment society. One man and a laptop. Woo! Let's play the hits, you know what I mean? Bashing out the joyrides and what have you. And they're coming through very arty and just such a cool band. But more on about them later. So I've got a chat here. I got some messages come through. And remember, if you go to burgstudio.co.za/NB in the shout out far right hand corner. Anyway, shout out, clicked on that. Send a message, name, message, and it is fantastic through. And it comes through here to this little inbox, and I've had a few messages. One from Lazarus Johnson. All right, lads, your boy. Hey, Shauno, bro, loving the show. Love the THR3 Project. Incredible musos. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Lance. Nice one. And then Cornet. Thanks for tuning in, Cornet. How's it, Sean? Busy working through music certificates. I do. Sounds interesting. Looking forward to hearing the THR3 Project. Thanks for the show. Thank you for tuning in. And THR3 Project interview coming up later. Right, and then the new song Divided by Zero. It's an absolute class and all recorded live. One take, baby. Awesome work. Then there's one from Michaela. Loving the show. Can't wait to hear the interview with the THR3 Project. Thanks for tuning in, Michaela. Let's have a look here. And one from Michelle. Thank you for tuning in, Michelle, if you're still listening. Looking forward to the THR3 Project interview. Such a great band. Thanks, Michelle. And then, just sort of general shenanigans. I've really enjoyed the interviews this year, and they've been a lot of fun. And to get to know people personally that you don't really get to do in the pub and, over Jägermeisters and what have you. But what I've really enjoyed about these interviews this year is actually just meeting the people and giving a platform to people to actually talk seriously about their art. And it's been really endearing to me to talk to people and just watch them light up and talk about this passion. We all got our careers and jobs and things we do and to pay bills and that, but to just speak to a human being who gets to sort of discuss something that really means a lot to them, particularly in this sort of artistic realm, is just been so, and it's just given me such good insight into what's going wrong with music and art now. We're just paying no heed. We're just more interested in the product and not really sort of getting to know these people. And I think that's the one cool thing with social media is that really sort of the clients, if you will, the buyers or the people you're selling to, your markets, if you want to look at it that way. So you're really getting to know who people are, and I think that's a really cool thing. So the THR3 Project, I messaged Mark. And again, he was well up for an interview, and we interviewed them in their rehearsal room in Ramburg, and I spoke to all three guys, and it was a really interesting interview. Obviously, it's all been pre-recorded on Zoom, so there are parts where the audio isn't great, but just stick with it. It's really listen, and just to hear what these guys are about and how they approach things. And then after that, I'll play their new song called Divided by Zero. And so that will be played straight after. And this was recorded live. And it was one of those, get everything set up, push record, we mic everything up, push record and go. And I just think that's amazing. I just love that aspect, and it's just put the song into a whole new realm for me. If you ever get a chance to see the 3 Project live, do. The first time I really sort of took notice that this artist drawing a picture of this beautiful African face, African woman and stuff. It was just superb, and the artist was drawing while the guys were playing, and it just made me fall in love with the band. It was such a cool concept, and I think they do more on that. They really sort of like to promote arts and others and music and that, and very sort of cool in that way, and they've done so much to help me promote my show and listen in, and Mark's always sort of listening in as well. So thank you, Mark, and I hope you enjoy this interview. And for you 3 Project fans, this is for you guys, and all the best. Please stick around for after that. I'll be playing Divided by Zero. Here we go, the 3 Project live pre-recorded interview here on Burg Studio. #Jawling with Sean McBRIDE. Okay, here I am with the 3 Project, Mark, Graham, and Stefan. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey Sean, great yourself.
Yeah, not bad. So it's a good thing. I have to say, the last time I heard you was at that festival we won't name today, but it was such a good gig, guys. You really sort of blew me away that night, and that was the Friday, wasn't it? The Friday evening. I think you were last on, weren't you? So
in the morning.
Yeah, have you had some more gig? You gigging quite a lot since, or what?
We've taken a small break, focus on writing new material, but we do have a show at Rumors in December on the 9th that we're going to play. Next year we're coming back with some new tracks, so that's quite exciting.
Awesome. So how does it work? Because you guys, for those who haven't heard you, and obviously I'll play your song Divided by Zero after this. How does it work with an instrumental act like yourselves? You guys are quite arty as well. It's really what I liked about you. You got this artiness about you that a lot of bands don't have. And how difficult it is to sort of, because you can't rely on the lyric, obviously. Yeah, you're an instrumental act. I would say somewhat quite prog rocky. How would you describe your sound? And how would you describe your sound? Let's start that for those who are listening.
So not having vocals gives us an advantage where we can actually break boundaries, and we're not tied down to a single genre, which is quite exciting. So Graham will generally come with some ideas, some guitarists, and then we'll just start unpacking it in studio and just try and write around the theme. And so Graham, I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, well, mostly we play on feeling.
Sure.
So if our transitions feel good, then we'll keep it. If
it's a very visceral songwriting sort of thing.
So I think that's exactly what we want you to feel something when you listen to the music, and without lyrics, it leaves it open for your personal interpretation.
Sure.
Which is, I think, pretty cool. Yeah.
The song's also quite dynamic, so even though we've recorded it, Divided by Zero isn't played exactly the same way in January as we did in October.
Yeah.
One section might be long, but riff might have slightly changed.
Yeah.
And because we're not bound by lyrics in a sense, we have that freedom to change the structure and change the song to make it more modern as we go along.
And literally, we never play any song the same twice. Ever.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
It gives you freedom too.
Sure. So it's quite I don't know, sort of that sort of bebop jazz sort of idea. We've got you sort of create a certain amount of rules and a sort of where the song's going to go, and then you just let the moment take course and evolve there, but around these sets of rules. So essentially, the songwriting is just like creating a set of rules. This is the concept, this is the theme, and then you go from there.
No, so there would be a structure as this part will follow this part.
Yeah,
but
gotcha.
We don't really have a structure of what each of us would play in any part. As long as it kind of goes with the theme, I think we're open to that. So a lot of experimentation. We're completely open.
It also allows us to adapt for gigs. So if we play a set with a bunch of death metal bands, we can go heavier without losing the feel of the song.
Yeah.
But if we manage to get a gig accidentally with some Afrikaans artists, then we can still go lighter while still retaining our feel.
Right,
So
that's
it's a lucky
interesting.
pro-
Do you think it's important for bands to be able to like adjust their sound like that, depending on, because I mean, South Africa is very diverse,
No.
like listeners and no?
Yeah, no, I don't think I would hold any other band to looking at music the same way that we do.
Okay.
I
I
appreciate all music and all philosophies in music. Yeah.
But
So Sean, the advantage we have is me and Gray met back in about 2015-ish. So
Right.
we've been playing together for quite a long time, so we can read each other quite well. And Stefan joining us last year September was just the missing piece, and he just plugged into what the vibe we had, and it's just been taking us to the next level. So I think we all read each other really well and understand each other musically very well, to be able to achieve something like that.
Sure. Stefan, you do play an electric kit live with that, and it's an interesting choice. It's for that. What are the benefits does an electric kit bring to the sort of project for yourself, and sort of the songwriting and contributing to sound and stuff? Do you enjoy that variety that an acoustic kit doesn't give you, really?
Yeah, so we play hybrid, mainly because cymbals and snares specifically don't have the same control on an electronic kit. But the electronic thing does expand your musical boundaries quite a bit. So for one song, you might need normal toms, but for another song, maybe you want like more spacious toms, more like or eerie sounding toms, and with an electronic kit you can change that and you can control the sound. So you're not necessarily reliant on how the venue sounds or how the room is like. You know that the sound that you want for the song is the sound you're going to get. And it also allows you to do more extravagant things. So you might not have a cowbell, but you can have 4 different cowbells or 10 different cowbells on an electronic kit.
Sure.
And because they're a 3-piece, there is a lot of space. So there's room for not really backtracks, but like loops and more spacious sounds as well that you can trigger.
Absolutely. And
Not
that's
necessarily.
And that's what you do in the sort of thing. Is it your job at that point to sort of bring in those loops and the little back? Because I was listening to Divided by Zero now, and the intro, you've got like marching or something, and okay, so that all brings in
the rainfall and all of that. That's all triggered on the electric kits. So
That's
we
awesome.
can recreate that exactly live, which is very cool.
I can't remember. Do you have a laptop with all these things in, or is it all programmed into the drums for those moments?
So there's a laptop, but we trigger everything via the electronic kit.
Right.
So there's very little that in the background. So nothing is on a click. It's there, but the timing is controlled live. The positioning is controlled live. So if we play faster or play slower, the tracks kind of fill in with us. We don't really fit in with the track.
Okay.
For example, if raised the marching, it's actually set on the kick, and it actually alternates between every time the kick drum is hit. It goes left, right. So it's actually all played live. It's not just playing a backtrack and playing to a backtrack.
Sure.
All the sounds are actually incorporated into the music.
Yeah. No, and it's again, and it just works. I mean, it was just such a good. I've seen you play Rumors as well. You had that really good gig outside the the little outside with those Saturday festivals they hold and stuff like that. And this one particular day, you had that young lady sort of drawing a picture of a face and stuff like that. Is that something you do often, or is that was a one-off? Or
Yes, no, luckily I come from an art world, so I've got a lot of artist friends, and we've definitely been incorporating a lot of graffiti artists, painters. We even had fire dancers at one of our shows that actually did fire dancing in front of the stage for play. So we do try and push the boundaries, and because we don't have a front man, try to fill in a bit of the void as well with bringing some art. So yeah, we've had a graffiti artist with us on stage. We've had multiple painters. they had that called drawing. So yeah, we do bring art and dance component to the music as well.
It was such a nice touch, guys. It really sort of took, because I've watched over the years, I've watched instrumental acts and stuff like that, but that really was a nice touch with this lady drawing that beautiful face, and just the big canvas and stuff like that. So yeah, if you have any doubt to keep on doing that, definitely, it sort of really made the gig.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about the evolution of the band. How did you come up? I mean, what made you do this? Because I mean, this isn't your average, South African rock band. Who came up with the initial idea, and why have you gone this route? Why, sort of without sort of leaving out a singer? Was it a case you couldn't find one, or was it always just like, okay, I want to do an arty, a sort of instrumental project. I want to explore soundscaping, electric drums, and all that. Was that the initial set, or did it evolve to be this? I mean, were you sort of?
I think there was definitely we evolved into it. And what happened was, me and Graham had a previous project together, and that project came to an end. And me and Graham decided, I really love playing with Graham, and we have a lot of the same taste in music, which was very prog driven. Right. If you go around your Pink Floyd and your Tool and your THR3 and those kind of things that we really love. So we would just get together in the workshop studios when they were still around, and we would just play with riffs just because we loved making music together. This was never supposed to be a band. We really just enjoyed the music and pushing each other further and see what weird and odd timing we can come up with. Sure. And that is actually how Bipolar was written, our first song we did. And one of our friends used to be co-owner of the studio, and he just he was on his way to immigrate, and he said, guys, I really love what you do. Can I just stand in and help you guys a bit with some drumming just for timing purposes? And that is basically how the band was formed, where we eventually brought in Tristan on the saxophone, and we played for a couple of years with sax and drums, where he would literally play drums, stop, just keep timing with his feet, and actually switch over to saxophone and do drums and sax at the same time with us on stage.
I've seen that. That was a while back. That was so impressive.
From there we had Dylan on board. Dylan brought an electric kit, also an amazing musician, and he helped us really get into a lot of the proggy stuff as well. But unfortunately had to also split ways with us, and then Stefan joined, and Stefan just brought a whole new level with the computer and the samples and the sounds. And so it was an evolution. It was never an idea of today we're going to start a band.
And this is how it's going to sound.
It's literally something that grew.
It was a thing that grew. So Graham and Mark, you guys, I really love your tones and your choice of sound that you choose for the guitar and bass and that. How much work goes into sort of deciding what textures go along? Because obviously with the Stefan, he's got a lot going on there with sounds and that. Do you guys sit and sort of just go through your sounds and go, okay, that works, this doesn't? Or again, do you have one sound you use? And
no, pretty much. That's exactly. Actually, a lot of those effects and what is actually Mark on the bass. That you hear. So sometimes what you think might be a guitar is actually the bassist, and we just experiment and feel basically what sounds nice.
I've got currently a rack with about 6 or 7 pedals, which is quite hectic for a bassist, and I actually experiment by taking like an auto wah and combining that with a flanger or something like that and see what sounds I'm getting. And then incorporating that with techniques like slap or whatever the case may be, and trying to build that on top of what Graham's doing with his multi-effects, and we just try and find that sweet spot.
Well, and sweet spot's a good thing. You do find it, and but the few gigs I've seen are just you do reach that, and it's sort of what you guys do. What a lot of instrumental acts I haven't seen, you do sort of cross that, so as they say, that the wall, into the thing, because obviously a lot of bands do need that front man, and but you sort of managed to you know, managed to find a way to not need that front man. How difficult was it to get to that point, to sort of be comfortable as just a instrumental act? You know, let's face it, very hard audiences in Johannesburg and Gauteng. You know, so, you know, do you guys just not give a monkeys about that? You just sort of go up and play your art, really? Or was it a problem? Has it ever been a problem?
From my side, personally, I can't talk for everyone, but from my side is, I honestly think we've got the most amazing fans, because we people really do put in effort to engage with us on the stage and actually break down that barrier we've got, and actually engage with the music. And I don't know, Graham, Stefan, how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, so I think we've gotten a lot better since I've joined at least. The first few gigs were a bit rough. I do care that people are engaged. I don't want to be on stage just by myself.
Sure.
I like engaging people. I like playing with the guys. But the crowd is always confused, almost, because we not only don't have a front man, but none of us talk. Yeah. So people aren't sure, like, is this a sound check? Is this the next song? This is the end? What's going on? So we have samples now that kind of allude to that, where we are in the set, which I think has helped a lot. But yeah, we're still working on audience engagement, but it's a tricky thing as an instrumental.
And how important has the sampling become, you know, with to your sound, and particularly live, to keep that interest? Is that sort of a big part of it now?
Yeah, I don't think I can take it away now.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, I think
definitely adding to
definitely improve our sound. So.
Sure. How you guys approaching now with your releases and stuff like that? So I'm actually been speaking to, obviously I'm interviewing a lot of people at the moment, and I'm finding people are really keen to write albums again, which I'm finding quite interesting in the current climate of singles and streaming and stuff like that. How are you guys approaching marketing yourselves and releasing your music? Are you, because I mean, being let's face it, you're very prog rocky, you know, and the prog rocky album, is there plans to do the sort of, you know, the prog rock, you know, album where you're telling a story, so like if your Pink Floyds and what have you, or are you guys happy just to stick to the singles and just, you know, release songs for your listeners and just remain relevant and the thing? So obviously a big problem with albums is you know, it's 12, 14 songs and then boom, that's it, and then, you know, it's a lot of work.
I don't know, look, our songs run extremely long, like over 6 minutes each, so 12, 14 songs, I doubt we would keep many people's interest for that long. So if we did do an album, it would probably be about 6 or 7 at most, and that is in the pipeline. Okay. That's our goal.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's interesting you say that, because there's so many bands now want to do the album. The album seems to be that having to create that collection of music as this one piece seems to be still important to people, and it's almost something we miss. This obviously with my band, the Memories Jam Trio, was the big argument: do we do an album? Do we just release singles? You know, and stuff like that. And it becomes it's quite a talking point. Do you think the album will ever return as as an important part of live music or rock beat, basically?
That's a very good question. In like a TikTok-driven generation, I don't know if the album really will be as relevant as it was before, but I think there will still be bands and artists out there who want to release albums, and so I don't think they're going away. I just don't think to the levels that we've seen in the prior 50 years, basically.
Gotcha.
I think album will always have a place, especially in prog. I think there's because of the music, the progressive bands usually make it more intimate. So it is more a conversation and a story you're telling to a certain group of people, and it's a group of people that necessarily want to listen, and they want kind of this something else. They want this otherworldly thing They don't just want to be entertained for 2 or 3 minutes and then move on to the next thing. So I think the albums will stay, but it might become a very niche thing in certain groups only.
Gotcha.
And then on the point of recording, I just want to do a shout out to Danny, which is the most patient person I've ever met. They sit with 3 guys and record a 6 to 12 minute song, and to go over that again times. Danny's really amazing.
What's the
really
pre-production like for that, Mark? You know, sort of, you've got, as you said, you've got these really sort of quite lengthy prog rock songs. Where do you even begin to do that? Do you guys just throw on a click track and away you go? Do you play live or do you overdub? I mean, how do you guys go about this?
So we've had a privilege to work with Danny, which is also very open and also loves prog. So he's very open to experimentation. So we've done 2 tracks with him. One where we played without a click and we just did a live take on it.
Which is the one you're going to play.
Which is the one you're going to play. And I think it came out pretty decent, considering that we did not have that click, but we only had Stefan as a metronome, which was actually quite interesting. And we did a second one where we did it with a click, and we tested the water and see what works for us. And like I said, Danny's got so much music knowledge, and he would be like, try playing this piece of the pick, try playing that piece with your fingers, let's try the slapping this way, let's record it through the amp, through directs. And he had all these different ideas, and that's how we got to actually capturing the real sound of the band instead of just trying to program something to sound in time or perfect.
Yeah, and I find your recordings do your live show justice, because that's a big, I'm finding a big problem with South African bands, particularly. They sound one way on stage, and then go into these, you know, and record, and then they can't bring that energy into the recording, that sound, that, you know, it gets overproduced. I don't know, too many decisions and stuff like that. So do you think that's the sort of secret, maybe having someone like Danny? I assume he's sort of doing a producing role as well, that really understands what you guys are trying to achieve. And what sort of conversation do you have with Danny beforehand? Like, you know, do you give him rough demos, and, you know, what's that relationship like? But sort of
so Danny's actually mixed us live before, so he's seen us live, and he actually approached us and offered to record us. So I think he kind of got it when he saw us live. So, and he gets it. You can tell by the way he records it. He's still got the kind of rawness that we have in our sound. And I think he's just brilliant.
And Danny being a bassist himself, he really captured my bass tone, exactly what I wanted, and we could have those conversations, which helped so much.
Well, the bass tone in Divided by Zero is excellent. You just got to, you've got it. It's warm, but it's also, you know, it's got sort of quite a bit of treble to it, but it's not annoyingly so. It's a really nice. But the guitars as well. And are there any overdubs in that song? Or is it all just a live recording? There straight through into the desk, and
it's basically a live recording, so it's single guitar, single bass, and drums.
Oh wow! So that's changed the ball game for me on that track very much. So well done. Do you want to tell me a bit about Divided by Zero? There's a lot of almost audio imagery with the marching and the rain and stuff. You know, I know lyrically you can't say, but are you trying to say something with it? Is it sort of is it just an idea, a color? What's the song?
Look, we do have our ideas on the song, but we actually prefer that people take from it exactly what they want, so interpret it any way they want. And I think it's better if we maybe leave it that way.
All right, that's fair enough.
Whatever
you believe it's about, that's what the song is about.
So the exciting thing we're busy doing as well, Sean, we're working with a couple of vocalists, and we might release, as we have released this as the instrumental, and that would be the main song we're also planning on releasing versions with actual vocalists who took the name of the song and actually went and wrote how they feel and what they get out of it. So we get all these different interpretations. That's what we're planning on releasing next year around the song, which is quite cool.
I think that'd be a great idea. Include some guest vocalists and sort of get that's an awesome idea, definitely. Guys, so I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. Best of luck with your projects and upcoming projects. Please keep in touch with me, and if you've got anything new or any gigs, please send them through, and obviously probably see a gig at some time. But thank you so much for making time for me, and I need to come visit your studio. It looks really interesting, and get a haircut as well at the same time. But to Mark, Graham, and Stefan from the 3 Project, and we're going to be playing Divided by Zero now. Thanks so much, guys. All the best and best of luck, and keep in touch.
Thank you,
Thanks
Sean.
so much.
Enjoyed it.
Thanks, Sean.
Cool.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Great alternative sounds right here at Burg Studio. Just press play.
Right, well, what can I say? That was the 3 project. So the 3, so THR number 3 project, and then the E's got a number 3 in it. It's a project with a 3 in the E in case you're looking for it. And they're all online. It's just absolutely fantastic stuff. The fact, now that was a live recording. I say live, that was done in a take live in the studio, and they just went for it and the recording. Great effort, and just great, as I said in the interview, great textures, colors, ideas, and very cool, very tight band, and wants to watch. If you ever get the chance, get out, support the 3 project, go do something different. You know, you don't have to watch rugby and cricket every weekend. You can go watch some music as well. So the 3 project there, divided by zero, you can find on Spotify and Apple Music and on. So just put a little googly poo there and find them. Sure, go on YouTube and add them. Mark, Graham and Stefan are all a bunch of lovely blokes. Cannot wait to get some new material from them next year. Me too. I'm just chatting to Mark now, and he's just sort of getting some great feedback. So thank you for everyone who tuned in, and sending them your regards. These guys work really hard, so give them as much support as you can. To sit there, the girl who painted the African woman was only 17 at the time. So this is from Mark. Her and all her high school buddies also listened in. She asked if we could get a digital copy of the show if possible. Absolutely, Mark. And to everyone listening at your office, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next year. So this has been my last show for the year. It's Christmas next week, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year and all that. So I'll be back sort of early Jan, and so for more, got interviews in the pocket, so got loads more to come, and Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all of you.